Hi there, my name is Shanity and welcome back to the Proverbs series. Today we'll be discussing some important topics and questions that Proverbs number 6 can answer. So let's dive right into it. First, I want to take you all to what I call Trin's Science School. And today what we have here is a slug. Now, you may have already known what a slug is. You may have already seen them like in your backyard or somewhere. You may even have them as a pet, growing up. But a slug is a slow-moving creature similar to that of a snail that is a type of gastropod mollusk. The difference between a slug and a snail is that slugs lack one main element that snails have. What might that be? A shell. They lack a shell. See, slugs have one of the following. They either have a reduced or partial shell, a small internal shell, or no shell at all. This means that slugs have limited protection against being eaten by their enemies. They are an easy target, so to speak. So, I'm not saying that slugs have no other form of protection, because they do have a mucus emit that's both sticky and distasteful. But that can only do so much depending on the type of enemy, the size of the enemy, and how hungry that enemy really is. So you may be wondering, why in the world am I talking about slugs? Well, Proverbs 6 through 11 talks about a sluggard person. Sluggard person, aka a lazy person. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man." So, Solomon is letting us know how dangerous laziness really is and how it will dig you not only into natural poverty, but spiritual poverty. Now, poverty is defined as the state of being extremely poor or the state of being inferior in quality or insufficient in amount. So, when you are lazy, you are more vulnerable. Remember, you're missing that shell. You're a slug, right? Lazy. So you're more vulnerable to becoming lesser in value and in quality when it comes to the kingdom of God. That is why we need to do, as it says in Proverbs 6 and 21, bind thy father's commandment and the law of thy mother continually upon thy heart, and tie them around thy neck. Because when thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For it is a lamp, it is light, and it is the way of life. And, a bonus, it keeps you from evil woman, and from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. That is why it is so important to follow instructions, because when you do, you are keeping yourself from making certain detrimental mistakes. For example, later in the chapter, it talks about adultery and how when you commit adultery, you are literally destroying your own soul. So I myself will be striving, and I encourage you all to do the same, to follow instructions and be the ant, as it talks about in verse 6 and 7, that works without any supervision. Do not be the slug that sits around and appreciates. God bless.